I am the guy to take the spot when he shoots hinges off. But basically from this point on, he doesn't even have to say anything. I would immediately go for a pie.
Okay.
Pie it, and then it would basically turn into for instance, if the door was already open. If it wasn't, I'd just immediately go here. And then I would basically be here, and he would signal to me, you go in, or if he stays like this, it means I want to go in. And if I'm like, no, don't go in, I do this. Okay. And that means I don't care. It's my turn. And then he has to do that.
Okay.
And for instance, if this was a hallway of some sort and we had to do a Y breach, and for instance, if this was a hallway, let's go back out here, and we basically want to enter, but we want to have both sides covered and immediately look into the middle, we would basically do a little wiggle, and that wiggle signals that I go in outwards and he goes outwards and immediately middle.
Okay, so
now this works for outside and inside.
So y'all are doing a wiggle for button hook instead of hand, because I'm using hand positioning to do it.
Just open the door.
Yep.
Okay.
You look so goofy right now.
One of the one of the first parts when y'all came in, I saw obviously use the hand motion to say check the door, right? Then after you checked it, you gave them the clear on it. I think the bending was an accident. I don't think that was a verbal key. I think that's the radius acting up.
No, that was actually a really good tactic that he does when he sees an enemy across the field. He just real quick goes into cover and comes back. He's like insulting someone. Basically, he's talking to the overlord back there, and then he comes back, basically. That's why we call it the radius.
And then for this part, did you two both do it? And I don't know if this was part of the radius here, but was it a half pie and then back, or what did y'all do on?
So we had it too much with this game where we would basically do a breach and basically aimbot. John Wick is in the middle, okay? So we've decided on when we have time that we both, if no one's shooting, that we both do a little center check and then do our breach.
That would have saved me a couple of times. Now, do y'all, I mean, everything's kind of flowy per, like, you know, always, but when y'all do the center check, how did y'all confirm with each other, or do you, like, in all reality? I know you said if there's no shooting, but I'm certain there's been times where you kind of, you know, it's like, I want a center check, will he, etc.
To be completely honest with you, we just do it on our own for center check stuff, but for instance, different cues, if we open that door and all of a sudden there's our SOP for that is really simple.
Okay.
That, or we just stay out there until they slow down with the shooting, and then we do another center check to shoot them before we enter.
It's mostly, when it comes in terms to the actual practicality of it, the center check without getting shot at is more or less a verifying that there's nobody there.
That's what. Okay. Yeah.
A center check under fire is either A, like I showed you, just chuck a frag in the room like God intended, or we give it a second, wait for him to reload or start rushing us, give him a quick center check, and then boom, boom, we're both able to engage. Because the reason why we both do the center check, in my opinion, and I'm sure he shares the same opinion, 2 guns is better than 1. A 2v1 gunfight is a better odds than a 1v1 from one guy checking the room, right? And that, I should also preface that is if we do the center check when we are splitting on a closed door.
Correct. You're not doing a center check.
The radius.
You're not doing a center check from stacked on one side together. You know.
Yeah, no. We usually try and turn any 1 stacked area into a 2 stacked area by basically making a pie like we did back there.
Yeah.
Because a Y breach, in my opinion, is almost suicide. Because you have the first guy running in like this. Second guy does not know how the room looks and has to pie around. For all I know, his gun is going to get stuck on the wall. The guy's going to see him before he's in. So we decide that one guy pies. He sees a little bit of the room. If he sees something, he can back off or he can continue. And as he reaches, like for instance, if there's a wall here, the moment he reaches that wall, it's instantaneous breach unless he does something like this or, you know, any other movement like this, which we usually don't do.
Okay.
We basically almost have no conflict while we breach.
So I don't mind that. Here's my one thing with it. So let's say I'm doing Here's why I like it. I'm not saying because you've seen I do both. I whatever works is where I'm at. I'm not one of those like, oh, it's delivered, it's dynamic. You got a J hook, you got a that's stupid. That's dumb. As if everything works in your favor all the time. Here's my thought process. So if I pie, I don't know if this is a good room for it. Okay, maybe. I don't know. Let's just pretend that this is a dead wall completely, no doors.
Okay. All right.
This one's still open. We still have open thresholds.
We can actually make it into a.
And then
there we go.
This wall right here is just a wall. No doors and nothing.
No doors in there, yeah.
So let's say we were coming from the side, and I'm like, okay, blah, 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 blah. I start to pie, and I see that there's a door here, right? In this scenario, I would definitely, after I finish pieing, even though I've seen all of this is where I would button hook to some degree, because he most likely hasn't seen that door, because I know I didn't see it from here, so he hasn't seen it. So I'd be like, okay, cool, we're gonna button hook in, because I know as soon I've told him, this is on the SOB video, but I've told him through a non-verbal that there is a door there, at least an open threshold. Since I've seen it better, I'll say button hook, I want to go first, and I'm immediately going to basically check that door for the most part, because I've already checked this corner. He should have that deep corner pretty clear, arguably, unless it's too long, in which case I would go all the way to the wall first, but then same thing. The time I would go the opposite is in this opposite scenario. If we're here, that's a dead wall, and I go, okay, I'm pieing, and there's a door right there. I'm not going to button hook here, because this wouldn't make a lot of sense to go to this dead corner, expose myself to this wall while he's coming in this way. This is where I would use that Y split to actually, or Y, I don't know what y'all call it, Y split, yeah?
Y break.
We have the Y for Y and X, that's all.
Okay. Anyways, in this scenario, same thing. I would enter first because I've seen this door, and I would go, hey, I want to go. Then same thing. I'd pop directly out to here and push up to that door because he hasn't seen it. Is there anything that you guys see? I mean, obviously it makes logical sense, but I know there's everything's different based on how you do it, but for yours, you were saying more so you don't like it so much. What's the determining factor for if you're like, okay, we are going to do Y and X, like we're going to? What's your determining factor for that?
So the way we specifically determine the best case scenario for what we need to do really depends on two factors, right? It's what's our wall coverage on this side of the door, and what's the wall coverage on this side of the door, right? So for instance, if it is
like a long wall?
We have a solid wall right here.
Okay.
We have a T intersection pretty much right here, and we just have one door to stack on right here. Sort.
Okay.
Yeah. Our brain is thinking of, right, when we come up to here, we don't have space on that side. There's no possible way. We could pie this way, but as soon as that guy realizes what he's looking at, we're gonna hit one of these and then hook around, because that's how we usually just tackle T intersections in general. T intersections for us is always going to be a button hook because that's just natural. Okay. Because the reason why personally is the crisscross motion, in my opinion, does not work on a T intersection. It just doesn't work. The X doesn't work on an intersection, or a T intersection, because of how much dead space there is on these two sides, right?
Okay, so that's where I get what you're saying now. So that's where we're kind of not getting lost, but you're saying this is in the scenario. Now, I had a video where we made a joke about this at the end, like some of it, but like, come here, I'll show you. We were like, unless there's like flat Stanley up against the wall, like this. In real life, yes, fair enough. Somebody could, even then, I don't think anybody's, holding up the wall like that. But usually, even from these,
big boss could be in here.
Literally. Now, also what I've seen is you guys are a little further probably than I am from the door. Like the actual threshold before y'all enter, which to y'all's point, that's what causes some of that going across, and I've noticed that too, so I'm trying to like ease up on it. But because I'm usually close enough, not phasing through the wall, but close enough to here, which is why I like being here with it, not so much extended, I'm able to see that most of the time, that little cut. And if I'm not able to see it, I follow the same protocol as y'all do. So it seems like it's the same, it's the same thought process. You're like, because y'all are kind of backed up more, we can't see that angle, we can't see this angle, so we're gonna button hook. But if y'all were able to see it, I'm assuming, I don't know why I have this. Do you want it? It's not pulled. We're fine.
Sure.
But if y'all didn't have that, would you then say that it would be viable to do the Y after you pod? So let's say you both are stacked up here. Y'all both have seen these corners and you go. I'm not saying you would want to or y'all personally like it, but would y'all then say it would be viable to do the X, or is it just like, still no? Here.
If you do that cut, what is in first? Unless you have your gun like this, what is in first? Your gun.
Nothing. Oh, well, this is where it's a punch. So if you're talking about button hooking, that's why I said I like low ready. I know some people like this. I don't. I hate it. In terms
it does
of
cover up your vision a little.
Yeah, it's for me. It's weird to go from here to back in versus low and then just raising it up. But that's a personal thing. Some people like it the other way. But to answer your question, if I'm going across this threshold, I can see this and I already cleared this, so I'm not, stressing it, or I know my friend's about to hit it. So I'm going in, and as soon as I turn this corner and this is passing through, I punch out immediately. So it's not it's not like I'm not going here and turning into it. I'm trying to hide everything as much as I can, and then I'm punching and just following through.
No, it's all those steps to just get in without being seen first, or you just go like this.
So that's what I'm saying. I think we're getting terminologies crossed over. When I say snake, I also start saying snake. Snake is what you just did. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm saying this is cool. Button hooking for me is when that's why I said in the scenario where I would button hook would be you feel everything's kind of probably reversed from what we were thinking then because we miscommunicated. So I think we're completely on the same page. I think we were just saying different things mean the same thing. But yeah, button hooking, I mean, like I said, the only time in this scenario, the only reason I would do that would be if I was over here and like y'all said, there's that long wall. And number two, here's the other part to it. If we're button hooking and I've already cleared this side and I'm telling him basically, hey, there's, I'll do this, which indicates there's a wall. And then I might even say, if I know the person or if they're smart enough to get it, I'll say wall. And then I'll point to them and me and say button hook. That means when I button hook, don't worry about that. Just go over my shoulder. So as soon as we're entering in, it's not just me either. It's two guns, not one. If I know there's nothing really here to threaten, I'll go here. And as soon as I press through, they're on my shoulder, whether it's my right or my left, depending on if we're stacked on the same side or not. And they'll go right over my shoulder. We're both tracking this down. And this is when we decide whether I want to immediately pie this door or whether we stack up together on this side without entering it.
I think a lot of our philosophy, especially with just us being a two-man and running pretty much 99% of the time as two-man, because we've yet to find a group of people. I mean,
it's hard to run with
standards.
Any more than two, in all reality. It's super hard.
And most people are just, they are not heart-minded. They usually want to stick to what they know and don't want to mix what you know. Like, they don't even want to touch the things usually, which makes breaching with them quite not enjoyable and sometimes even impossible.
Well, that's I don't understand.
I've
that
had
everybody
people
has
literally
SOPs.
scold me. I've had people
sense.
scold me just for doing a little pie. Just, why are you doing a pie? We're resetting or whatever. Like it's kind of
that's what
you work with what you got.
Literally, and you play with what you know, and then you see if it was different. And if the biggest part is if it worked, it worked. Like you can get as mad as you want to, but if you're not taking shots, you got your hostages, you get your enemies, what are you that upset about? Obviously there's always something you can do better. But at the end of the day, we solve the issue. But no, that's what I've heard people talking about this versus this. And I'm sure if somebody looked at y'all stuff to some degree, it's so stupid a critique, but somebody might have it, into my opinion, of where y'all wiggle your gun. And, why are you taking your gun off target? And it's like, bro, I get what you're saying, but in all reality, that's not where that's happening. So no.
You gotta do what you gotta do, and you can't just always be a robot, aiming in one direction. You gotta look at things, and you want to look at things while your gun is not on target. What if your friendly walks in front of you? There's things you just have to do. There's things you just have to do, and they're usually connected with whoever you're breaching with.
Correct.
So them seeing SEAL Team 6 doing some sort of breach, it's not gonna look the same as another SEAL Team operative
doing exactly. They're not.
It's all
they
going
don't
to be
even have the
different.
same- Yeah, that's what I don't
They
understand. Not even the
bind
same
together.
branches have the same SOP. So why do us, not us like that, but us idiots, us idiots think that we're better than all these other high class military special ops that all have different SOPs, different ways of breaching, different ways of communicating, but we've got it right. Like that. That's just idiotic.
Exactly. We're still working on the run the rabbit tactic because me and him, we basically don't use it, but we want to implement it because it's actually pretty good. So if I see a wall like this, no one can hide there, and it goes pretty deep in. For instance, like I can see because I don't know, I do my half pie, for instance.
Yeah.
Then I just call run the rabbit. For instance, I just call it. We don't have a call out. Like I said, we literally made this up like a month ago. So basically, I call the rabbit, and basically that would mean that he pies. And the guy that pies, basically, once he has hit the threshold right here, he basically runs into a room, and I basically move in like this. And he does not radius.
So this is where I would say, instead of, that's what I think that is. That's what I mean on my side from staying on the shoulder.
Okay.
So this is more so what I'm talking about. So when I'm saying on the shoulder, instead of me hugging this point and popping out, I'm still getting there because you're going there, but I'm going here and then I'm tracking with you. I'm not holding that point. So I don't know if that's the same as run the rabbit specific, but that's what I mean. Like when I was talking about button hooking and we stay on each other's shoulders, I don't mean he's on my butt. I mean, like we hook. And as soon as I go here, he's right on my shoulder entering in, and we're either pressing together or he's stopping at a certain threshold. So let's say let's just say there was a threshold from this line to this line, and I'm going in first and he's running the rabbit, or I'm running the rabbit. He's right behind me. Instead of him staying right there, obviously he could get this look, but I'm already getting it since I'm going here. I'm checking here, and I'm not going to pass this threshold in all reality until I know he's somewhat close. That way, by the time I either decide to pie, which is 9 times out of 10 when I'm doing this, I'm not going to run this way just to get all the way over there. I'm just going to finish the pie here. I know he's stacking up on that side to get that deep corner look. Does that make sense?
When I'm Mr. Bad Guy here, right, and good guy is running across this way.
Yeah.
His main thought first,
is
and this applies to AI and people, is I got to track that guy, right? He's in the middle of tracking that guy. That guy's starting to engage because he's done his stuff. He's eyes on. He's moving. He's engaging. Second guy comes in now. And now it's a 2v1 gunfight.
Yep.
And it's all about the numbers game.
Yes. So we're on the same page for that one. That is the way I would use that one, 100%. And that's why I have the difference between the motion of just button hook, where we're actually going to split button hook, and pointing at you, then me, then doing it, so that way we can get into that flow. So when you stick this corner, I know you said you still move. Obviously, we're take being smart out of it for a second. My natural goal, and what he was just talking about, the run the rabbit, how y'all do it, I saw you kind of stick here, then press in, like go hit around the corner. I more so do it with like a following almost every time, and then I decide. So I'll follow all the way to here, then I'll decide. Because by that time we dealt with that. By the time I'm doing that, I'm not saying one's wrong or right. I'm just asking, are you more so flowing really, or are you literally turning this corner, like sticking it like you're about to go all the way through and then following after?
If he just entered and he's running, I would basically be on his basically peek in, immediate left. And then I would immediately either move towards him or go straight down so we can just have a dominating position basically in the room.
And in this, I know this might be picky, but I'm trying to figure out how you run it. When you hit this, are you sticking the corner first though? Kind of like, are you doing like a clear
for like a second check? I'll stick it. For a second, I'm sticking
I get you. So that's the difference between mine and yours. And is I haven't stuck yet. I'm not saying it's bad. I just haven't done it yet. I naturally every time I'll just pop it the same way I was talking about how I do my button hooks. I'll compress and just press in and then go that way. You're saying more so you'll go here, stick it, then continue to make that move, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a split second where I stand still, basically.
Yeah, I'm not getting on it. I'm just
No, you're good.
understanding
You're
it more
good. You're
so.
good.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just saying, it's like a split second.
I think the biggest upside to the stick it that Felix does, and that I sometimes do. I most of the time I flow in where when I hit this room I'm just pushing straight out. But
Okay.
a good upside to his stick out is he's a half of a target while doing this.
Versus a full
so
target.
If this guy is like, oh, I'm tracking the other guy. Oh, I got to go back to this guy because he's a bigger threat because this guy's still moving.
He's got longer
He's
to
got
get
more
to me.
cover.
He has
Yeah.
to go all the way back over here.
And
Okay,
it's
fair
harder to
enough.
see me, so he might just break a sweat and not even see me, basically.
If you're just
Yeah.
okay.
And
so
this happens so quick that it doesn't even matter if there was anyone over there.
I know what you mean,
by
because by that
he's already
time
dead.
he's dealt with them prayerfully. And you're
Unless
just
there's like 20 guys in one room and a PKM in a corner, I think we're not.
yeah. No, I get you.
What I wanted to do was I wanted to show you us running through like a randomizer. You can go up onto
I'll
the
go
spectator
above.
things. See
Yeah,
how we
yeah,
do. Yeah.
Yeah. Playing. Fall back. Yep. Oh. One down. How many radius are you gonna get? Sure. Swings out. Yeah. Hold, prepping flash. Good flash. Fine.
It's back.
Copy.
Okay, let's take it out from previous.
Copy.
Just to be clear, 5 enemies left.
Thanks for that, though. I can't tell. Crossing. Flash and frag. Moving.
Good double kill there,
It
fam.
is. Target down. Close door rear.
You should only have 2 left because you got those double kill you just got. You only have 2 left.
Okay. Sure.
You guys flowed amazing together. The only question, literally the only question I had, because everything else was just some of the stuff. It's like preference completely, so it has nothing to do with anything. I can see why you did it, and y'all work so well together. Y'all can probably get away with 90% of things anybody else cannot. So doesn't even matter. But what? And I'm not saying this in a butthole way, so I hope it doesn't come off that. But what is the reasoning or purpose behind reaching across a door frame to check it? Instead of playing that whole game of like, oh, let's see if it's open or not, I don't care whether it's open or not, because at this point when I'm doing this, I'm just exposing my entire body to the entire door. So I'm just going to tell my friend, breach it.
A lot of that decision came from a mix of what options do I have and a little bit of metagaming,
and
because I know how the AI works.
I got you. We're good.
Yeah, I know how the AI
that's
works.
what I'm asking. Okay.
Yeah.
Correct. So
that's because I know that if this door opens and I'm opening the door, the AI aren't going to shoot at the door. If I do, they're going to shoot at the door.
Correct.
Right? And that's just the nature of the AI. Don't get me wrong. In real life, if I was breaching this door in real life, I'm not going in. I'm not doing that. That's
so that was mainly to save ammo for the shotgun.
That's one of those. That's hilarious. That's one of those like middle grounds where I kind of, I guess, put real life into the game for that specific. Like that's just like it's one of those specific things for me where I just like never reach across. That's just like a habit, I think, where I've built. But I'm not saying like your approach is wrong, but
one of the
I understand your reasoning now, though.
One of the biggest things me and Ducky have is momentum. That is also why we do not use a battering cam. That is also why we don't use the snake cam. We've tried using it, and it just slows our momentum to the point where we basically go into manual override, which is not good for us.
We make up for the lapse of security that we have as only a two-man team with just speed and violence of action.
Correct. Yeah.
We don't, because we don't have a third guy able to just watch
rear
here.
completely.
That's also why our rear is most of the time. That's why our rear is most of the time just not covered at all. We've basically not given up on it. But basically, we have decided that it's better to just move quick, clear rooms, close doors behind us to hear when people are coming.
Behind you. Yeah.
Basically. And if we had a third guy, that's probably also why we might not do a lot of three-guy breaching. That's also why I don't like doing three-guy breaching. It's way better, obviously, because you have one on rear guard. But I just really hate to tell someone you're rear guard, and then all they do is just be on the rear, especially in this game, because no one's going to come up their rear most of the time, unless you're playing an actual game, not like room randomizer.
Okay.
And remember when you said at the beginning, when you said, I have eyes in this corner, unless some guy's going like this?
Flat Stanleying it? Yes.
The reason why we do that now is because we learned it the hard way. We once entered a room, right? We entered, went like this, fully cleared the room, turned all the way around, and there's just one guy.
Was it PvE? I mean, I'm just curious. Was it PvE or PvP?
PvP.
Okay, that makes okay. Yeah. So that's one PvP. Exactly that. This is like in real life, nobody's doing that. Just like no, if you have a gun,
maybe that's their mindset.
Yeah, shoot, they're like this. They're like, all right, I'll just wait.
This is their tactic.
Literally, and they do. They don't even
with the wall.
They don't even turn to shoot. They just turn the gun. They're like this. So let's run this through, big boys.
So how do you want to do this? Like, do you want to be like a two-man to like be with us, or do you want to be like third man just to be in the rear?
Two-man. Run it two-man because I want to see it first person, and I want to just run and see how it goes. At the top, like, please watch what we're doing, and then at the end, you can also give a bird's eye view of like, hey, I saw you do this, I didn't like it, or why'd you do that? This sucked. You should have done this. You know.
Yeah.
Scratch.
Hold. Do you want to talk about it? Yeah, there we go. I don't know. You guys use breacher shotguns a lot more than
Falling back. Pie. Center check.
I'm going to just press across on this one, friend.
Yep. Also, we can mix our tactics. I just want to real quick before we go into the next room. Say that usually I have the second guy pieing, but you just do this for the sign, basically.
No. Please do it, because I thought you were going to come from behind me. I was kind of waiting, and I was like, oh, maybe he wants me to, and I was just trying to run with it. But yeah, I saw you.
I didn't want to pie at the same time, so
yeah. Yeah, honestly, see, in this scenario, I was just trying to do a huge breach. So in all reality, I would have probably asked you to do a second man pie, or not, just check the doorway and then breach from your side. That's really what I would have done here. But
yep, hold real quick.
Yeah. So yeah,
I'm already going to the other
cool.
side.
We'll pretend you had the breach charge here.
Yep. From this point on, let's try and flow this through. At least try,
Oh, and then you
get ready to breach.
Yeah, go ahead and
I'll pull it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot that you have to pull it and not have a remote for it. We don't usually use the breaching charge. Move in. Target's clear.
Flash going up. Hold. Yep. Throw it in.
Bad flash.
It's fine.
Move in.
Hook it.
Good shot. Flat. Loading. Up.
Reloading.
Clear.
Good to go.
I'm gonna turn around. That was nice.
Yeah, we both had that door.
Swinging out. Watch the door.
Go ahead. And I mean, we already cleared it, so we can just press there. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go right side. I'm on you. We can circle it all the way around.
Usually go completely back up, but we can do this.
Okay.
Hold.
Yep.
Clear.
Clear.
Coming out.
So that's one of yours. While we're flowing here, I saw you do that one. You're I'm assuming that also means that's the one where you want to snake in when you actually just raise it up. I'm assuming.
Basically, this means my side is pretty much clear. You can move in first for an X breach, basically a snake.
Okay. So yeah. So I did that right compared to what y'all do. Okay.
All right. Hallway. Door. Checking mag. Up.
Because this is so small, I usually wouldn't do this, but based on what y'all do, I'm gonna go here.
I probably also wouldn't do it, but
okay. I was just going based off of that. Yeah, that's what I saw. Yeah, let's do it from there.
Also, the moment I use the shotgun, I usually fall back immediately. Just letting you know.
Fair enough.
Like you take my place, basically.
Hard corners.
Coming out.
And then I guess we can keep pressing around. Hold, my good sir.
Yep.
All right. Clear. Nice. You see, this is stuff I don't like. I don't like this one. Okay. That's why I hate that. I knew it. The 1 second we do it.
Yep. That was a pretty bad door.
Yeah. The moment we did it, I was I hate this side.
Because Ducky isn't here yet, I would have shown you what I usually do, but considering there was a door here and on my end it was open,
you would have done this one.
So basically,
okay.
Usually these open doors that swing outwards, back then they used to open completely. Also, that's another thing why I can't do it anymore. They don't, which makes more sense.
So that's why
I would post up here so I can basically aim into the corner while still having shit. But this door was open, and since the new update, the doors don't completely swing out.
So yeah, that's why I do it from this
That's
side.
why
I
I
was saying
tried to
earlier.
stack up with you. If I was here, I would have just been stuck.
Yeah, well, that's part of it. So yeah, that's what I was saying. In the corner like that, I'd rather you have you there, like you were saying, and I would breach from right here and just stay crouched down and let you get a shot over.
All right, let's do this a bit faster, and then with Ducky, we'll do it clean.
Okay.
So we can actually perform it. You know, if it works really well, maybe we can breach way more on, depending on you.
All right. This is me preparing breach charge. Dang, see, it's just... All right, you know what? This is how we're going to do this. For the sake of argument here. Please work with me. God, I hate these things. All right.
Yeah, that's why Ducky and me don't use anything finicky.
Literally. Yeah, I just didn't feel like reaching across.
It works. It works.
Hard corner. I'm pressing in.
So for these kind of corners, before we go to Ducky, usually when the place does not take the gun, we usually stop, and that's basically the immediate entry for you, basically.
So
you can do it the way you want because we're trying to merge stuff together, which is fine. I'm just letting you know because I feel like this is a really bad spot to be in.
So yeah, this is where I like. That's why I like personally I just like that crunched low ready. It just feels nice, like to get it close to me. But that's why I use that because I'm not hitting this, but mine is as long as I can get my low ready and my optic is still below my eye. I'm okay being there, but I'm not going to start breaching from there either. I'm not going to okay, let's go and then just stay stuck. But for this, it's the same concept, except you guys kind of stop here. Y'all don't crunch to get a further look in. Y'all just go to here. Then y'all are clearing. So I'm getting a little bit more and sacrificing. I'm getting more vision, but sacrificing the ability to pop immediately. You guys are sacrificing more vision to be able to pop more immediately. Did I say that right?
Yeah,
okay.
Basically, yeah.
Corner over here I have not cleared. So really quick, now that we're here, can we run that back one more time? So in this scenario, because of the way we came in, I haven't got to look either at that deep corner on the left side. And then when you walked out, you walked right in a deep corner vision. So how do you two solve that normally? Correct.
If Ducky and I were to do this, now this is a pretty finicky room, I have to admit, but usually me and him would just do a usual X breach, go in, and basically by this time, I don't think
it's
speed
here.
that me and
I'll
Ducky
I'll put the laser
there's-
here. So this is what this is what I'm concerned about. So right now you haven't seen me because where I am. This is what I can get a shot on. So I saw you from here all the way over to here without anybody seeing me because the other guy just button hooked this way. They haven't seen me at all. And then you came in and you haven't, I'm just staring at you. You feel me?
Well, yeah.
Run with me on this one. This is where I might try a different version. So run my right shoulder. Stick to my right shoulder when we go in, just for the sake of argument.
Oh, when I go in?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we push in and stick to my right shoulder and still check straight and then across and stay with my right shoulder. So this way we've both cleared. I mean, yes, if flat Stanley's behind the door, we can keep an eye on that for a little bit. But then this still allows us to stack up on this side. And if we're saying, hey, we haven't cleared that doorway yet, which you can see through the doors too. And there's a door crack. So, I mean, I'm not worried about it, but I'm just going to say, because I'm not worried about it.
I'm just taking a picture of this because I might actually bring this up to Ducky.
Yeah. So staying on the shoulder with the button hook, allowing me to clear, deep left, circle around here, and you stay right here on my shoulder. And the two guns are better than one theory. Same thing here. We're using two guns are better than one, and I could finish clearing this room and then still make it back to here, or I can trust you, clear to about halfway, like go in, clear to about half, and then switch over. And I know you've got the rest because you're literally right next to me. You can finish the rest. I'm trusting you. We're in the same area. And then we can push this corner because we know all of this is clear. And I can just say, hey, pie it, and you can check that corner without any real risk. There's not too much risk from anyone.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea. I'm probably going to bring it up to Ducky too because I think it's a really good idea. It's just that we would first need to have the ability to see the door, because if the door was over there, for instance, we couldn't plan for it.
So let's say this one was busted. Oh gosh, I hate this. Hold up.
Well, it would still be the same thing for me. If I breached in, they would see me before I would see them. In my opinion, when you went this way, I was able to see your whole gun before you even peeked. When you did this method, I basically wasn't able to see anything until you actually had the gun on me.
Okay.
And the guy who's around here, you could basically just turn, shoot him, turn back.
Can I see?
You can prioritize things. Usually when I walk into a room, I know what to prioritize and what not. If there's a door, I usually prioritize it, but check and then go back to the door. But if there's no door, I look for work, which is this.
Yeah.
I only do that when I have work.
Well, and to your point, maybe I'm mixing stuff up mentally. But yeah, in this scenario, I would do the X. But I'm more so talking about the person on my shoulder. And that's maybe my bad at explaining. I would still do this. I mean, I'm still checking here. But yet again, there's so much on this. If I've had the other person pie already, and I'm trusting that deep corner, like if I can logically see it or I've seen it, and I'm coming from this direction, then I'm not playing that game. I've never ran into the issue ever. I know y'all have. I've never ran into that like flat Stanley NPC or person. You know, if it happens, it happens. I'll learn this the hard way. But when I get to here, I'm popping out and I'm going straight this way. But what I'm saying is this person stays on my shoulder coming this way. So that way I'm still able to clear this one. And by the time I'm here, you're circling around versus me trying to go here and then circle all the way around, and I'm still exposed to anybody that just walked through or anything like that. It's a different thought process, but it's the same idea. I get, because I 100% get where you're coming from. I'm not disagreeing with it, to be clear. These are